In 2016, I never imagined that I would be a published author in 2017. And it wasn't because I didn't know I had the gift of writing, because ever since I was a young girl, writing has always been the only way I knew how to express myself. I wrote about everything. Boys, my dreams and aspirations, boys, of course, my thoughts and fears about life. I even wrote about the time my sister and I took the bus all the way across town, stopped for ice cream, and made it back home before my mom realized we had left the house. That was our interpretation of playing outside of the house. But a published author? I thought about it, but I'm just a customer service representative. My day consists of taking well over 70 calls a day and telling sick patients how to prepare for their exams. Where would I find the time to write a masterpiece, something actually worth reading? You know what they say, you're at work more than you're at home. You see your coworkers more than you see your family. So I decided to take this writing thing and put it on the bucket list amongst other things like bungee jumping and traveling the world. In 2016, I began a lot of self-development. I started asking myself questions like, who are you and where are you going with your life? Mark Twain said it best. He said the two most important days of your lives is the day that you're born and the day that you find out why. It was through that discovery I realized your passion leads you to your purpose. And what is passion? It's that thing that keeps you up at night. It tugs at your heart. You can't stop thinking about it. Another person describes it as the activity that makes you forget that you have to eat and use the restroom. In other words, I can write for hours and hours at a time and nothing else mattered in the world. But where would I find the time to write this masterpiece? I knew that even the greatest authors had to have started somewhere. Surely they once had a job just like me. So I wanted to go to a place I was guaranteed to find anything I needed to know: Google. Famous writers who once had a job. It turns out Mr. Stephen King was once a janitor. He wrote his first novel, Carrie, which later became a movie. His inspiration came while cleaning the girls' locker room. And then there was Mr. Ken Kesey, who wrote One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, which also later became a movie. His inspiration came while working the night shift at a mental hospital where he spent hours talking to the patients. And last but not least, one of the greatest poets of all times, Mr. Langston Hughes, well, he was once a busboy at a local restaurant, and he would often write poetry on napkins and would later be discovered by a famous poet who would dine at the restaurant and come across his work. I thought to myself, we often say that we are pursuing our purpose, but purpose actually pursues us. What is purpose? It's that inner calling telling you what you should be doing all along. I thought to myself, could it be that purpose has been pursuing me all along, just as it did those authors? It pursues you everywhere, in the car, at the grocery store, and even at work. I was reminded of all the times that my purpose pursued me, because often when times got slow around the office, I began to write, and I would write, and I would write. And over time, many short stories were born. There was Strawberry Sunday, a short story about me and my grandmother's shopping excursions to the mall. We would shop till we dropped, and we always found our way at McDonald's to share an ice cream sundae to share the sweet part of life. There was also Road Trip, the short story about me and my father's life and the many lessons that he would teach me while riding in the car. Purpose has been there all along. So what do you do when your passion leads you to your purpose and your purpose pursues you? You have to say yes. When you say yes to purpose, you unlock the door to your destiny, the path that was laid out just for you. By simply saying yes, there's nothing that can stop you. Not lack of time, finances, credentials, nothing. The right doors will open. The right people will cross your paths. You just have to believe, and you have to make up your mind that purpose has priority over everything else, and everything will fall into place. So how did I become a published author? I simply said yes.